We are live in 3, 2, 1.
Now I'm going back home for 2 weeks, and then I'll go to the Salt Lake mission.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is taking missionaries out of Hong Kong due to the coronavirus scare.
And speaking of the coronavirus, a Utah couple is stranded on a cruise ship because other passengers tested positive for the virus.
The state of our union is stronger than ever before.
President Donald Trump delivers his third State of the Union address one day before his impeachment trial is set to end. Welcome to Newsline. It's Wednesday, February 5th. I'm Andrea Cabrera.
And I'm Bella Erickson. President Trump addressed both houses of Congress in his third State of the Union address on Tuesday.
The president laying out his vision for the next year, coming just one day after the Iowa caucuses and one day before the Senate likely votes to acquit him in his impeachment trial. Karen Kaifa has more.
Madam Speaker, the President of the United States.
President Trump delivering his third State of the Union address, one that will likely set the table for his run toward November.
The state of our union is stronger than ever before.
The theme of the speech, the Great American Comeback, focusing on health care.
I've also made an ironclad pledge to American families. We will always protect patients with pre-existing conditions.
And immigration.
The United States of America should be a sanctuary for law-abiding Americans, not criminal aliens.
And national security.
Our military is completely rebuilt, with its power being unmatched anywhere in the world, and it's not even close.
The president laid out his vision for the final year of his first term in office, hoping his agenda will lead to a second.
If we hadn't reversed the failed economic policies of the previous administration, the world would not now be witnessing this great economic success.
But he comes to Capitol Hill under historic circumstances. No impeached American president has ever run for re-election. And tomorrow afternoon, the Senate will cast their votes on the charges of abuse of power and obstruction of Congress presented by the House. Democratic response to the speech delivered by Governor Gretchen Whitmer of Michigan, one of the states that buoyed President Trump to victory in 2016, and one Democrats want back in their column this November.
Despite the dishonesty and division of the last few years, and that we heard tonight from the President of the United States, together we have boundless potential.
On Capitol Hill, I'm Karen Kaifa.
The State of the Union is not only for Congress, but for voters to reflect on the year. College students in Utah got together to watch the addresses. Pizza and company were provided to students who attended watch parties last night on BYU campus. One such party, hosted by an organization called Free the Facts, a nonpartisan group focused on educational opportunities for college-aged adults so they can become more informed voters.
Free the Facts, we like to say they come for the food, but they stay for the policy.
More people came than expected, and Free the Facts had to make a second pizza run. Reactions varied throughout the night with combinations of nodding, clapping, mild cheering, and grumbling. Attendees either loved or hated Trump's format of his speech, where he used guests as examples of his policies and priorities. The majority of the attendees stayed for the whole address. The BYU College Republicans Club also hosted a State of the Union watch party.
Senator Mitt Romney attended the State of the Union address with Governor Herbert and says our nation has experienced economic growth similar to our state, adding, quote, "The president rightfully recognized that success and also highlighted several policy areas in which both parties should work together. Going forward, I am urging Congress and the president to urgently address our nation's runaway debt, which threatens our retirement programs like Social Security and Medicare." Utah's only Democratic Congress representative, Ben McAdams, also reacted to the president's address, saying, quote, "I've learned from my time in public service that you don't have to agree on every issue in order to find common ground and achieve progress. With a strong economy and more Americans employed, now is the time for us to work together to get our fiscal house in order, strengthen Social Security and Medicare, and invest in modernizing infrastructure."
President Trump gave the State of the Union speech, but it was marred by drama. Karani Namuño joins us now. Karani, what happened?
So the president arrived in Congress to give the State of the Union speech, but that was the beginning of the drama. It began with President Trump ignoring Nancy Pelosi when she extended her hand to greet him. The Speaker of the House was visibly not happy with the events and the speech of the president. As President Donald Trump finished his address, Pelosi ripped her copy of the speech. The events led to a lot of reactions on social media with different hashtags trending. Pelosi tantrum was one of the hashtags that was trending with 106,000 tweets after the State of the Union address. Another hashtag that took social media by storm was Nancy Pelosi rocks with more than 60,000 tweets. That was not the end. Nancy the Ripper also dominated the social media space with 19,000 tweets as people reacted to the drama during the State of the Union address. Let's look at some of those tweets. Now, Ashley says Republicans when Trump is being disrespectful, and Republicans when Nancy rips up a piece of paper, and you can see that little picture there. And of course, another Dockery Docket says it seems that Nancy Pelosi, Pelosi's heart of love has filled with hatred for our president. And of course, those are some of the tweets that were trending. But at the end, the House Speaker Nancy Pelosi shook hands, but the handshake was with Vice President Mike Pence. Back to you guys.
A majority of Utah voters say they approve of President Donald Trump's job performance for his first time since his election in 2016. According to a survey conducted by UtahPolicy.com, 52% of likely Utah voters approve of President Trump's, while 45% disapprove. This is above the national average. 61% of men and 43% of women in the Beehive State approve. And while 62% of those aged 65 and older approve, only 56% of voters aged 18 to 34 disapprove.
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is evacuating missionaries in Hong Kong. The missionaries are being moved because of concerns over the coronavirus. To avoid spreading the coronavirus further, the missionaries will be under self-isolation for 2 weeks. If they don't show any signs of the coronavirus, they will be sent to another mission to finish their service.
God's going to use you wherever that is, and if you change around, it's not the end of the world, it's just another opportunity.
Missionaries from Hong Kong will be released from service and sent home until the virus is more stabilized. 113 missionaries are temporarily being reassigned to other missions around the world. The church sent supplies to China last week to offer help to those infected.
A Utah couple is quarantined on a cruise ship in Japan after passengers were found infected with the coronavirus. Mark and Jerry Jorgensen have unexpectedly extended their cruise for another 2 weeks. The couple was eating dinner when the ship announced that the coronavirus was on board. The couple is stuck inside their room on the ship while Japanese health officials test each passenger. The Jorgensens are optimistic in their situation, saying that they are living in the unknown, but they, quote, roll with that really well. 11 other passengers tested positive for the coronavirus.
Provo police officers replace a young boy's stolen bike. Last week, the officers took a report of a bicycle theft. They met with the owner of the bike, 9-year-old DJ, who explained that the bike was a Christmas gift and the family's only means of transportation. The officers were so moved by the boy's story that they all donated money to purchase a new bike, bike lock, and some treats for the boy and his family.
The Utah Transit Authority is testing a pilot program with their fare cards.
And you don't know how great that is for people like me.
We'll tell you how they are helping people across Utah.
So the more endorphins we have, the more energy we have.
Can't start your day without a cup of joe? What researchers say could help more than coffee.
It's Burn Awareness Week, what the #1 type of burn is and how you can treat them. Next.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your closet. Still no jobs? Just more stuff? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed. And they're the stuff inside your stuff. Our job is to unlock those jobs. And it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover keytar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs.
You can achieve a lot using your imagination. I mean, I don't like to brag, but... Wait, who's that? And why is she all over these achievement awards? But with STEM, the sky's the limit.
Shaboom!
Use STEM to envision,
Okay, I'm seeing it. Yeah.
invent,
Got any ideas?
I've got a few, actually.
and create a better world.
Told you she's super smart.
If she can STEM, so can you. Find out more at She Can STEM.
February 2nd through the 8th is Burn Awareness Week. Experts are urging people to be aware of fire and burn safety. Dr. Stevenson of Primary Children says the most important factor in preventing burns is knowing what the most common burns are. Number 1 being sunburns, a first-degree burn. He also warns of common household areas that can cause more serious burns.
Hot water injuries, cooking injuries, fireworks, the iron, the stove, the fireplace. These are common places that we forget about that become hot.
Dr. Stevenson also advises to seek medical treatment with all third-degree burns and most second-degree burns at your local rapid treatment center, whether that is an Instacare, urgent care, or trauma center. First-degree burns can be treated at home with a gentle cleaning, gauze, and some pain control.
Sorry, coffee lovers, but it's time to break up with your cup of joe. Researchers at the University of Ontario examined the effects that caffeine and aerobic exercise have on working memory and energy levels during the first of its kind study. They found that just 20 minutes of exercise is as good as coffee for working memory, cognition, energy levels, but without the negative side effects of caffeine.
The reason that we get more energy when we exercise is our body produces more endorphins, and endorphins are hormones, natural hormones that our body produces when we need a boost of energy.
Despite the positives known about caffeine, the negatives of this psychoactive substance can outweigh the benefits like nausea, fatigue, low energy, and a foggy brain. The main takeaway of this study is significant. Exercise, with its long-term benefits on the body and mind, can help improve mood and focus just as much as caffeine, but without all the negative side effects. So opt for physical exercise next time you need to fire up those brain cells or nail down a deadline, instead of reaching for a cup of coffee or a can of Coke.
President Trump's impeachment trial is almost over.
He absolutely, unequivocally is guilty.
We'll tell you when the final vote will take place.
UTA is starting a pilot program. We'll tell you who qualifies for this free service and how this will help Utahns.
Plus, we're supposed to have an early spring, but Mother Nature might be thinking otherwise. Coming up, I'll show you just how long these winter clouds will stick around.
Where's Tommy?
I thought he was with you.
No.
Jack.
Tommy?
Go get him.
Don't stop. Keep playing. Here we go. Here's the fun part.
Did you do this?
Great job.
Encouragement. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
For many Utahns, work and doctor's appointments are just a drive, Uber, or train ride away. But Kim Peterson has some exciting news for people who can't afford those options. Kim?
That's right, Bella. This month, the UTA announced a new pilot program that will give free fare to low-income families. Here's how it works. The Utah Transit Authority will offer human and family service organizations a 75% discount on all fare cards so they can give rides to their clients for free.
UTA has long worked with the homeless. They need to get to a doctor's appointment. They need to get to a job.
And UTA's long-term goal?
What we're really hoping for is to be able to help people help themselves.
UTA does this by reaching out to organizations that help low-income or homeless individuals and families. Organizations like this one, the Odyssey House in Salt Lake City.
Odyssey House of Utah is a behavioral health treatment center.
The Odyssey House serves about 1,000 clients a day in their various programs, and many of them require public transportation.
UTA is so critical to the success of our clients.
Clients like Gil Hamelman, who uses the train to get to a Salt Lake homeless shelter.
I can't afford a car, so I ride the bus and the train.
He rides the train to see his daughter and make his doctor's appointments. And he's pretty excited about UTA's new program.
Well, that is great. Oh, man, you don't know how great that is for people like me.
The pilot program will go on for 6 months, and after that, the UTA will figure out where to go from there. If you want more information, you can call the UTA at 801-734-3882. Back to you.
Thanks, Kim.
The Utah legislature is underway and multiple bills are being introduced. A Utah lawmaker unveiled a proposal to require pornography to carry warning labels or be subject to a $2,500 fine. The label about the potential harm to minors would have to appear on both print and digital material that appears in Utah. An adult entertainment industry group warned the idea would violate the First Amendment.
A new bill introduced in the Utah legislature would make polygamy an infraction, which does not require jail time. The bill, SB 102, would reduce the crime of polygamy to an infraction, while bigamy related to abuse would remain a second-degree felony. The bill also classifies involuntary bigamy as a third-degree felony. As of today, the bill is waiting to be introduced in the Senate.
Another proposed bill would change Utah's state flag. The bill, HB 250, designates the current state flag as a state historical flag and allows a commission of 11 members to receive public input and make a recommendation for a new state flag design. A proposed bill to revise a flag failed last year. The commission will have an initial meeting on June 12th and will select up to 40 potential flag designs by September 15th.
The impeachment of President Trump enters its last chapter. A final vote on whether to acquit or convict will be held this afternoon. And despite the history behind the moment, there's little suspense. John Lawrence reports.
One day after giving the State of the Union address, President Trump officially finds out his fate.
He absolutely, unequivocally is guilty.
The Republican Party has the majority of the Senate and is expected to acquit the president on both counts.
The arguments of the House manager simply did not demonstrate that the president's actions rise to an impeachable offense.
The stances taken toward the president were largely split along party lines.
The Democrats' decision was a mistake, and it's only further divided our nation during a time when we need to be working together.
I thought that the evidence was overwhelming of how he literally held up aid to a foreign country, a fledgling democracy, an ally that had been invaded by Russia, all because he wanted dirt on a political opponent.
Some leaders say it's time to put this political saga in the past.
It's time to move on, and to move on to focus on bipartisan legislation to help the families that we represent.
Others hope to not see such a case again.
I hope history treats this episode as an aberration, not a precedent.
Meanwhile, President Trump's approval rating is 49% according to a Gallup poll released Tuesday. That's the highest it's been since he's taken office. I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Believe it or not, this video isn't from anywhere around here in Utah. This is a snowstorm hitting the Odessa Midland area in Texas. This storm they just received is the storm that passed through us already this week. Now, West Texas gets snow occasionally, but it doesn't really last as long as our winter weather here in Utah. Now, the weather across the nation is a little bit severe right now. This is that storm in Texas you're looking at. You can see right now, the Wasatch Front is under a winter weather advisory. It's not the same thing as a warning. So we're going to be getting some snow soon, but it's not going to be as bad as what we had earlier this week. So I want to walk you through a little bit, help you know how to plan for this upcoming storm. What you're going to be looking for is snow accumulations that are up to 1 and 2 feet. We're going to have gusty gusty winds, maybe 55 miles per hour at the highest. This is going to be all along the Wasatch Front, and it's going to be starting tonight into 4 p.m. Friday. So the commute tomorrow is going to make traveling a little bit difficult. So you want to keep that in mind as you head out in the morning tomorrow. The snow may hit overnight and get our roads really, really wet and mushy, not great travel conditions. Now our temperatures, though, are a little bit warmer than we saw earlier this week, but it's still feeling so chilly because of the wind out there. So look up here in Logan, 23 degrees. You're only dropping 3 degrees for the low tonight. Same thing happening in Salt Lake City from 28 to 26. Vernal over here, 8 degrees. A little bit chilly, but 16 for the high today. Now Moab, you're at 16 for your low and 27 for your high. St. George even dipping below freezing at 29 degrees overnight. Now St. George, you're not going to get a lot of the same precipitation that we're going to be seeing here in the Wasatch Front. So let me show you the 5-day forecast for southern Utah. You can see sun Thursday, Friday, Saturday, some nice temperatures on Saturday, but look at this jump, a 30-degree jump. A little bit chilly on Friday, but your weekend will warm up. But you may see rain on Sunday and Monday, but you'll still be in the 50s, so it's not too bad. Maybe a little bit of snow on the Red Rocks up there for you guys. But here in northern Utah, the snow is going to be a lot heavier. So our biggest chance for snow coming in the next week is Thursday and Friday. We're looking at about 30 to 40% right now, but that may increase as the storm comes in. You can see we'll be hitting in the mid 40s. Saturday will be a nice clear day for the weekend, but look at this. The snow will come back on Sunday and Monday, cooling down a little bit into 38 degrees, 21 overnight on Monday. So really, I think we said an early spring, but winter is here, and I think it's going to stay for just a little bit longer, but we'll be right back.
I was physically at school, but my mind wasn't at school. I had problems at home. So when I met Narnese, she started helping me a little bit, like, Nia, I don't know what you're doing, but your future is more important. She's my strength. It takes a village to help somebody get their diploma. It changes your whole life.
Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org.
Your son wants to get a cat, but you're allergic. Do you A, prepare yourself, B, make the best of it,
C squared equals 25. Good job!
or C, find a loophole? When it comes to parenting, there are no perfect answers, but that's okay, because you don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. Teens in foster care will love you just the same.
It is National Signing Day for college football, and the BYU Cougars are looking to build for their 2020 season. So far this offseason, the Cougars have added 13 players from 6 different states, 5 players from California, 3 from Utah, 2 from Hawaii, and 1 from Washington, D.C., Texas, and Arizona. BYU also has 9 additional players joining the team as they return from serving as missionaries for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Today, even more members of the 2020 recruiting class will be announced. As mentioned yesterday, the BYU Cougarettes head coach Jody Maxfield has announced that she is retiring. Maxfield led the Cougarettes to 19 NDA collegiate national titles, 2 United Spirit Association national championships, along with many more accomplishments. With so much success over the years, this final Cougarettes team is looking to make Coach Maxfield proud.
At first, our reaction was really nervous and scared, and we didn't really know how to feel. But now I think since we don't have as much time left together, there's a lot of love and trying to make the most of every minute we have so that we can make her feel proud in her last few months with us.
Maxfield will officially retire at the end of April after she leads the Cougarettes to a final NDA Collegiate National Championship in Daytona Beach in Florida. Maxfield will be a part of the hiring process for the next coach of the Cougarettes. That process has already begun. BYU seniors David Ball and Sean Hill were named West Coast Conference Men's Tennis Doubles Team of the Week yesterday. Ball and Hill paired up for the first time this weekend and were the only Cougar duo to win both of their doubles matches 6-3. BYU's men's tennis team will play next against New Mexico in Albuquerque, where they hope to improve to a 4-4 record. BYU women's track and field is now the number 14 ranked team in the country. The Cougars have the top relay team nationally, giving them an edge in the rankings. Just 2 weeks ago, the team was number 25 in the country. However, after breaking multiple school records and beating their competition along the way, the Cougars continue to rise up. Their next meet is this Friday and Saturday in Nampa, Idaho. We'll be right back.
The forest is a whole hidden world of wonders. What better place to let your imagination soar? Experience nature and create a memory you can share. Visit discovertheforest.org to find a forest or park near you.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
Librarians of the Provo City Library reveal their picks for the 50 best books of 2019.
About 100 library patrons gathered in separate adult, young adult, and children's book sections where librarians represented 50 books in 50 minutes. Erica Hill, a 6-year librarian at Provo Library, says she's pleased about the focus on books.
This is one program we love that is just about books and reading and the love of reading, and so giving people ideas of where to go next.
The librarians plan ahead to read 100 books per year, a goal that keeps them reading up to the last minute before the yearly presentation. The 50 best books of 2019 come from the librarians' personal favorite reads of the year. PDF lists of the 50 best books are available on the library's website.
That'd be a fun list to check out. I need to get reading this year if I'm going to get 100.
Yeah, I'm a procrastinator. Well, thanks for joining us today for Newsline.
For more information on our stories or to share them with your friends, check out our website at universe.byu.edu/newsline.
Have a great day.